pulling up the mainsail while you're still at anchor saves a lot of messing around. Also, the boat is held into the wind by the anchor, so when you're old like me, pulling a thing like this up takes a lot of effort. So this kind of helps when you're single-handed. As soon as you get resistance on the wind, on the sail, it becomes very hard to pull up. Beautiful old boat there. He came in late last night. Nearly there. If it becomes too hard, that usually means she's caught on something. Just a little bit more. It always worries me the last bit, just how hard to pull her up. That's a lot of tension on there. I've got the clutch closed so it can't slip out. Right, engine start. Okay. AIS, GPS, there you go, plotters on, sailing instruments on. Okay, I should have done this first, check to see if there's water coming out of the engine. Yeah, here she blows. Self-steering's all ready to go. I took that off last night because of the wind blowing her around, poor thing. Okay, we got instrument panels here, we're going to turn this on now. This is the system I've got. My instruments here, and I'm using this as a plotter on deck, which is a Samsung Galaxy. It has real GPS. It doesn't have to have a telephone network coming into a card or a SIM card or anything like that. Completely independent, just talking to a satellite. They're brilliant. I've got speed over ground here. That's coming off the satellite. And I've got water speed. Of course, it's not doing anything at the moment, but that comes off a little paddle wheel on the bottom of the boat. This is the bit that takes a lot of effort, but this is the bit that keeps you fit. Right, that was the safety. That's the safety to stop the thing going over the side. That's going to go there for the minute. Then we're going to start pulling. Where is the anchor change? It's almost up and down, so I'm just going to test on here, see what the pull is. That's good, we can do it. Oh, I need to get the, there you go. Right, ready to go. Okay, let's go. I do it because it's quicker this way. The winch takes too long. It's easy in this weather, but if you've got anything more than a breeze, you couldn't do this. I got a new anchor on here because the last one I had I lost. Now that's just gone tight, so I'll have to winch her off the bottom. She's probably dug in. I have to be careful when she comes off the bottom if I start to drift. Okay, goodbye little beach. And it's turned into a magnificent day. Got the two foresails up and a full mainsail up, and we're not exactly stonking along, but we're doing up to about 5 knots. There's been a few yachts come past me, none of them with tracking systems on AIS, which is interesting, which means I'll have to keep a special lookout tonight, as I'm going to be out here tonight for traffic coming through. Had one ship, but I canned off the ship channel, out of the ship channel, so I'm not expecting anything too big to come through. Yes, almost perfect conditions. Well, it was earlier on. We had more wind and we were doing about 5.5 knots. Awesome sailing day. But it's just beautiful, getting a lot done, cleaning the boat. And that's really the difference between sailing and cruising. I mean, sailing, you're out there having fun for a few hours and you go home and see the wife and pet the dog and what have you. But cruising, we're out here, this is home. This is my home, floating along, and we're off to somewhere nice eventually. Not exactly quite sure where yet, but anyway, we're having a great day of it. I've got up here a net where I keep all the vegetables in and fruit and so on and so forth. And I'm not used to all this beautiful warm weather, and I should have checked it more than I had done. And there was a bunch of small oranges and tangerines and so on and so forth. I just put my hand up to turn them, and I got showered with this shower of mold dust. It went everywhere. Oh my god. So I've got them out on deck and I'm washing. So yeah, quick inspection, see that nothing else has got mold on it. Of course, there's one way to stop fresh fruit going bad, and that's to eat it. Cheers. The wind's dropped a little bit and we're just cruising along at nearly 4 knots, but I'm happy. Everything's good. Just had the engine on, done some motoring. We'll stop her now. Reason being, on the AIS I got this guy here. He's a Russian ship, and there was a collision warning. You can just see him there. I had on the AIS the closest point of approach about 9 minutes to run, and he was, every time I looked at him through the binoculars, he was bows on, which meant that he was going to hit me. And I'm doing 4 knots and he's doing about, I don't know, 10 knots, maybe more. And he's a big boy. And there's a shipping channel I'm crossing at the moment, a small shipping channel. And he's showing starboard side onto me now, which means he's going to miss me. Yeah, that's about as close as I'd like to be.
From dodging Russian cargo ships to cooking pasta, I live a life of danger.
Not bad, but that's about all I can eat. Well, it's not been a bad day today, I've got to say. I'm really happy with the way it's gone. Dodging ships and a meal or two on board. And it's getting late. I'm on the way to a little island called Ile de I think it's pronounced. It's about 60 miles from where I was at Belle Ile, beautiful island, near La Rochelle in France. Yeah, so it's a slow ride, but that's good because that means I'll arrive tomorrow morning, because I don't want to go in anywhere through all the rocks and the reefs that there are around here in the middle of the night. But right now I'm going to try and experiment with this pan and a piece of rope. In normal life, washing up is a chore, but on a boat when you're short of water, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to get fresh water again, so every drop I got on board is valuable. You have to be a bit inventive. So I'm going to stick a piece of rope on here and see if I can find a new way to clean a pan and save on fresh water. There she goes. Oh wow. Yeah, baby. I knew it was going to be a good day. Well, we're into the voyage now. As you can see, the beard is slowly growing back. I'll probably shave it off the next sunny day we get. We're in a place called Belle Ile, which is an island, and it's spelt Y-E-U, I think. And it's a very gloomy place. Well, that's the impression I've had so far anyway. It's been nothing but horrible weather since I've been here. Quite pretty, but it's just grey, and we've had an awful lot of wind and swell. You can see there by the way oh, it's not doing it now. It never does it when I want it to do it. Now it looks all nice, but it's jumping up and down normally. Last out of the swell. Oh, whoa. This is going to be tight. Well, here I am at Port Joinville on the island of Ile de Ile. I nearly hit that boat, and that boat, and that boat. So I picked the biggest hole in the marina and came in. The locals helped, well, so some of the other boat owners helped me. Oh,
I hate. Nervous. Talk about nervous. And everybody's looking at me, thinking, hey, little roast beef. Stupid English. What you're doing?
It was nice weather when I got in. It was kind of scary parking the boat up, but managed it without banging anything. And spent the day exploring the town, and ended up in a bar listening to a band who were playing country rock or country folk music-y country stuff, you know. And it's all the American idiom, but they didn't speak much English, so it was sort of until they get to they were just making the sounds of the English words until they got to the chorus, you know, oh, there the king of the road, and all this. It was very funny, but bless them, they tried, and they were actually very good. And today I plan to get the bike out and go cycling around the island. It's all together. That wasn't so hard. Doesn't look quite right though. I think the wheels are meant to be on the bottom. I was out there the other night, and two things I could see, and one was that in the distance, and the other one was this, the lighthouse. Just been told if I go down that road, there's a castle. This has got to be one of the coolest cycle paths I've ever been on. There are absolutely no trees growing here, and that says something. I know from parts of England and the British Isles, when you go somewhere where there's no trees, that means they have pretty horrific winters. I'll tell you what, this just gets better. Doesn't get much better than this. These must have been ports, arrow slits, windows, or what have you, and the wall must have gone up much higher than it does now. And the entrance we get into this section through probably still was the original at the time. Look at the width of the walls. Coming from a country that is full, even to this day, of old castles, and I've seen quite a few of them, I have to say that this behind me here is the real McCoy. This is the real thing. It doesn't get any more real than this. This thing is 700 years old. I've got to say, if you owned this back in the Middle Ages, nobody's going to touch you. They've got to get across that chasm to get to you.
Talk about home security. I used to do building work many years ago, and I look at stuff like this, these big pieces of stone, and I think that the guy that laid this, who put this stone here, put this mortar around here, has been dead now for 700 years. Amazing. Just had to stop and show you this. These are the cycleways that they have on this island. The views are breathtaking. I mean, just look at that. It's a field, but the colours and the silence. The French treat this as a holiday island, and I can see why. I think that's the way.